So Errol's not here right now, but apparently there was this just showed up on my phone in California because me and Errol just did a video about California. There was a shooting in California over the New Year, the Chinese New Year celebration. And now there's been another shooting and 7 people are shot dead. It says this is on Reuters. Somebody somebody corrected me last time and I forget which video we did, but we were talking about I called it Reuters. Apparently it's Reuters. um, but this says on Reuters, it says 7 shot dead at 2 farms in Half Moon Bay, California. 7 people were killed in a mass shooting at 2 locations in the coastal northern California of Half Moon Bay on Monday, and the suspect was later taken into custody after driving to a police parking lot. So he turned himself in, I guess, which is pretty weird, but I don't know. One of the locations was a mushroom farm. So maybe this guy was on drugs. Maybe it's a mushroom farm. It's in California, right? You never know. Like, what the heck somebody's on. The suspect came out. He was thrown to the ground and searched for weapons. Multiple uninformed officers quickly arrived at the scene. A gun was found in his car. A woman who witnessed the arrest told reporters she had gone to the sheriff's department to get more information. Yeah. Kind of weird right now that California is having this many shootings. Um, I don't know. Maybe I know recently California's been dealing with a lot of like flood issues and really crappy weather stuff. So maybe maybe everybody's just kind of stressed out. I don't know. That's never a reason to go and start shooting people, though. It's like, it's a weird. I think this is going to turn into something where a lot more people are going to get shot all over the country. I think everybody right now is being pressed and pressed to the point where people are starting to lose their minds. That's why it's more important now more than ever that if you have any way of concealed carrying, you should have your gun with you at all times. Now, especially because you just never know what kind of human beings are wandering around and what they're willing to do and what they're ready to do. And it's a terrifying thing if you think about your loved ones being out somewhere in public and some deranged individual with a gun just decides to take their lives because he wants to. You know, is it worth it for you to not have a weapon? Is it worth it for you to lose your loved ones in a situation like that? And I'm not saying that you can defend every situation that comes up. I'm not saying you have the ability to protect your family from every little thing that arises, but I think it's also really important that you try your hardest to prevent something like this from happening. So it's always horrible when you see situations, shootings, anything like that. But if anything, it should make you more prepared. It should make you want to be ready. When something like this goes down, you should have been training. You should have been preparing your mind, to take someone's life if you have to. We watch movies all the time, right? And the movies will be incredibly violent, and people are thrown into these incredibly unpredictable situations throughout these movies that we watch all the time. And we say, oh, it's so awesome that they're able to handle those situations, right? But the majority of us that are alive right now, if you throw just an average person into that same situation, that person's not going to be able to handle it. They're going to crumble under the pressure. They're going to break. They're going to fold. They're not going to be able to deal with that kind of stress because they haven't tried to prepare their mind. They've tried to avoid their entire lives anything that resembles conflict or pain, and when you do that for a long period of time, when you try to avoid conflict and you try to avoid pain, you're going to end up in a situation where Someone comes at you with a gun and you freeze. I've had I've had several guns pointed at me over the course of my life. Some situations I was not in the right necessarily. Some situations I was perfectly, you know, I wasn't doing anything and that individual just decided to point a gun at me. Um, it's always interesting what happens to your body when you think you're about to die. No matter how tough you think you are, oh, you think you can take everybody in the world. I'm just gonna Indiana Jones this and pull my gun out. You're really not. In the majority of situations, the majority of people, you're not gonna do a damn thing. You're gonna fall, you're gonna crumble, you're gonna freeze. And it is terrifying when you're actually faced with a situation that for months or weeks or years you've been telling yourself, I could have handled that better than this individual did, or I could have done better than that person. And you find out real quick, you froze and you would have died in that situation had it been anything serious. So, stuff like this hopefully is a huge lesson to a lot of people that we need to wake up and be prepared for situations like this. You can't trust everybody. We go to work every single day. We go to the grocery store. We've become used to this fantasy of a life that we live where there is no danger usually. There's never anything. You're never in any horrible situations unless you put yourself there. So we've gotten used to this idea that we're safe everywhere we go. So we've let our guard down. And you don't, when I'm in the grocery store, I'm walking around, I'm looking at people and I'm going, sure, that guy looks nice. Sure, that person looks nice. They look friendly, you know, but they're walking straight towards me. I don't know. I'm watching people's hands. I'm looking around. I think sometimes I give myself PTSD. Because I almost think I'm hyper vigilant. I almost think that I'm hyper vigilant because I'm constantly looking, scanning. I'm constantly thinking that something could happen. And it makes you, sometimes you think you're a little bit paranoid, but I think it's a good kind of paranoia, if anything. So it's a habit that you should learn to get into. It's always observing everyone around you. Never be trusting of anything until I don't know, until you have proven that something or someone is trustworthy. You can't just you can't just jump into situations in life and just trust that everything's going to work out and trust that people have your best interest at heart. That's where you're going to get caught up and you're going to get hurt. Very sad to hear that these people are dying. We'll see what happens with this story. I'm curious to know if he was on drugs. Like, I don't know. Should we call Errol and get his opinion on it? I wonder if Skis will answer. Let's see. Let's call Skis. Nah, you know what? It's like 9:30 here. He might be sleeping. I'm not gonna wake him up. He'll see this live stream though when it goes up. But anyway, that's kind of the story right now. Reuters put it out. As far as I know, that's the main details. 7 people are dead. ABC News is saying 7 are dead and 1 is critically injured. Suspect is in custody. That's all we know right now. It was at a mountain mushroom farm in San Mateo Road near Highway 1 and Concord Farms. Concord Farms off Cabrillo Highway. Crazy. But yeah, that's it. That's all we know. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. We'll maybe keep updating on this story as it goes. Maybe Errol and I will cover it in a video, but we'll catch you guys in the next.